It began on September 2nd, 1666, in a small bakery on Pudding Lane. The bakery, owned by Thomas Fariner, was a typical establishment of the time, filled with the warm, comforting aroma of freshly baked bread. However, on that fateful night, a small spark from the oven went unnoticed. This seemingly insignificant spark would soon ignite a catastrophic fire that would forever alter the course of London's history. A spark, unnoticed in the still of night, ignited a fire that would change London forever. The fire quickly spread through the bakery, feeding on the dry timber and straw that were common building materials of the era. As the flames grew, they leaped from building to building, fueled by a strong easterly wind. The narrow streets and closely packed wooden houses created a perfect storm for the fire to spread uncontrollably. Within hours, the flames spread uncontrollably. Fueled by wooden buildings and narrow streets, the fire raged with a ferocity that was both awe-inspiring and terrifying. People awoke to the sound of crackling flames and the smell of smoke, realizing with horror that their homes and livelihoods were at risk. The fire spread so quickly that many had little time to gather their belongings before fleeing for their lives. The city, still recovering from the plague, was unprepared for this new disaster. For 4 days the fire raged, consuming everything in its path. The Great Plague of 1665 had already decimated the population, leaving the city weakened and vulnerable. The fire added to the chaos, creating a scene of utter devastation. People were forced to flee to the outskirts of the city, seeking refuge wherever they could find it. The fire raged, consuming over 13,000 homes, 87 churches, and numerous other buildings. The inferno showed no mercy, reducing entire neighborhoods to ashes. The heat was so intense that it melted the lead roof of St. Paul's Cathedral, causing molten lead to pour down the streets like a river of fire. The destruction was almost unimaginable, with entire sections of the city left in smouldering ruins and landmarks like St. Paul's Cathedral. The loss of St. Paul's was particularly devastating, as it was one of the most iconic buildings in London. The cathedral had stood for centuries, a symbol of the city's resilience and faith. Its destruction was a blow to the collective spirit of the people, who watched helplessly as the flames consumed this beloved landmark. Miraculously, only a few lives were lost. Despite the widespread destruction, the death toll was surprisingly low. This was largely due to the fact that the fire spread so quickly that people had no choice but to evacuate immediately. The rapid evacuation saved countless lives, even as it left thousands homeless and destitute. But the aftermath was devastating. Thousands were left homeless, and London's heart lay in ruins. The once bustling city was now a landscape of charred remains and smouldering debris. Families were torn apart, and many were left with nothing but the clothes on their backs. The sense of loss and despair was palpable as people wandered through the ruins, searching for any remnants of their former lives. Yet from the ashes, a new London rose, stronger, safer, and ready to face the future. The fire, while devastating, also provided an opportunity for renewal. The city was rebuilt with wider streets, brick and stone buildings, and improved infrastructure. These changes not only made London more resilient to future fires, but also laid the foundation for the modern city we know today. The Great Fire became a turning point, shaping the city we know today. It was a moment of profound transformation, where out of destruction came the opportunity for growth and improvement. The lessons learned from the fire influenced urban planning and fire safety measures for generations to come. The resilience and determination of the people of London ensured that the city not only survived but thrived, emerging from the ashes stronger than ever. End.